Good afternoon, and at this time I would like to call this meeting to order and let the record reflect that today is Tuesday, June 11th, 2024, and the time is being 6 p.m. Before I move forward, I want to welcome each and everybody that's here present, all the members of the public. Thank you so much for being involved in this community. Moving forward, at this time, I would like to ask Commissioner Olivares to lead us in the invocation in this matter.
Dear Lord, we thank you for allowing us to gather here today. We ask you to bless every mind and heart that feels the presence of this room. We ask for unity of purpose as we take action on this beautiful city. We ask you to guard us and to guide us and to give us wisdom that we need in order to move our city forward and to make decisions that affect us in the most positive way. We ask these things in your Lord. Amen.
Amen. And at this time, I would like to invite all the members of the public to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the Texas one.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Moving to the next item, 1B, I'm calling roll for all the commissioners present to find if we have a quorum.
Let me call roll. So it's Gilberto Falcon,
Present.
Commissioner De Leon,
Present.
Commissioner Ediel Barrera,
Present.
Commissioner Rodrigo Olivares,
Here.
Commissioner Osvaldo Barrera.
Present.
We do have quorums.
This time, we have found that there's a quorum, so this meeting is moving forward. I understand that there's some members of the public that would like to address the public forum.
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you tell us who they are?
We have Mr. Montalvo here present.
Welcome, Mr. Montalvo, and proceed.
Thank you. Good evening, guys. And firstly, I would like to congratulate Mr. Ediel Barrera, Mr. Nune Barrera, and Mr. Gilbert Falcon on your newly elected positions.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your dedication and service to our city are truly commendable, and I look forward to positive changes you will bring in working with Mr. Ben De Leon and Mr. Rogelio Olivares. However, today I'm here to address some important issues that I feel are a concern to the city employees, and I hope you will consider these points carefully. One significant concern is the lack of a standardized pay scale for city employees. It's come to my attention that some employees are making less than the supposed starting pay when I was hired. This inconsistency is troubling and can lead to the dissatisfaction and high turnover. I urge the Commission to look into establishing a clear, fair, and transparent pay scale that reflects the duties and responsibilities of each position. Another one is the unpaid standby time. Another pressing issue that employees who are on standby during weekends and evenings are not compensated for their time. These employees are restricted in their personal activities. They're unable to leave the city or can't consume alcohol because they must remain available for city duties. Despite these restrictions, their standby time goes unpaid. This practice is not only unfair, but also demoralizing for the employees who sacrifice their personal time and for the city's needs. I ask the Commission to consider compensating standby time to reflect the commitment required from these employees. Another one that they asked me to address that I want to address too is the holiday pay. In some areas, a lot of the times, employees who work around the clock or are on call do not receive fair compensation during holidays. For instance, while most employees are released for Thanksgiving break, one water plant operator must be available and on call, and one operator remains at the plant. Even if the on-call operator did not work that day, if they get called in to work over the weekend, it does not count as overtime unless they have completed 40 hours. Whereas the other city employees receive an automatic 40 hours for being at home. Without the incentive of overtime pay, there is little motivation for employees to work during these times. Staying home would yield the same financial benefits. In conclusion, addressing these issues is crucial for improving city employee morale and retention. By establishing a fair pay scale compensating a standby time and ensuring equitable holiday pay, we can create a more motivated and committed workforce. I trust that you will take these matters seriously and work towards solutions that benefit both employees and the city. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, sir. And just to summarize, what you were proposing is, I believe it's 3 general topics that you mentioned.
Yes, and I
Equitable
actually-
Pay scale, unpaid standby
Yes.
time, and the holiday pay.
Yes, I brought copies for all the issues. If y'all like, I'd go.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mahoney.
Anything further on your behalf, sir?
No, sir, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Solis, do we have another member
We-
for this public forum?
She did sign up, but she's not here. She's not present. And my assistant
Do you
called her,
mind-
she's not.
Somebody try to reach her?
Yes, they already did before.
Okay. All right. Well, moving to the consent agenda, item number 2. We're getting to the approval of minutes. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We still have 1D, department reports.
Yes.
Okay, do we have any?
Every department has, we have every department here present, so you're able to ask any questions if you have.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission, and everybody in attendance. So my name is Becky Rubio. I'm the Public Relations Director for the City of Rio Grande City, as everyone knows. Just wanted to, I'm sorry. My name is Becky Rubio. I am the Public Relations Director for the City of Rio Grande City, just to introduce myself to anybody that might not know who I am here. And just to go over a few events that we have coming up for the City of Rio Grande City this month in June. We have our annual Main Street Market Days, I'm sorry, not annual, our quarterly Main Street Market Days on June 15th on Saturday at the Rio Grande City Main Street Kiosco, the historical kiosco, and it's going to be from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We also will have our annual 2024 Freedom Fest coming up on June 28th and 29th. And while I am on the topic of Freedom Fest, this past Friday, we had our Miss Rio Grande City Freedom Fest pageant at the Fort Ringgold Auditorium, and hosted by Miss Kathy Rubio, one of the best employees, in my own opinion. My mom is Kathy Rubio, and she did a spectacular job, and she is here. She wants to introduce the queens to the commission, and then picture afterwards.
Good evening, everyone. Like the lovely Miss Becky said, my name is Kathy Rubio. I work at the Kelsey Bass Museum, jack of all trades, master of none, but put me in front of a microphone and get out of my way. Anyway, this, like Becky said, we had our Miss Freedom Fest, Miss RGC Freedom Fest 2024 pageant this past Friday, and I would like to present to you our queens. Of the 4 queens, 3 of them are here today. One of them, our little Miss RGC, Mackenzie Rose Lopez, could not make it today because she is off with the Rio All-Stars playing softball or baseball or whatever those girls do. But I have 3 lovely ladies to present to you. First of all, our tiny Miss RGC Freedom Fest is Catalina Bazan. Go ahead and come up, Catalina. Our junior Miss RGC Freedom Fest is Sarah Lee Barrera. And our 2024 Miss RGC Freedom Fest is Michelle Meras. This weekend's pageant was beautiful. We had 19 girls competing, and so it was a very lengthy process and a difficult process for the judges, but Here they are. It was a tough decision, but we have some beautiful queens to represent our city. At Freedom Fest, and of course, other events throughout the year. And so with that said, I'm going to present each one with a bouquet, and then we'll, of course, photo op.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you all.
Congratulations, ladies. There you go, baby. So I don't know where you want to start, and then we'll have them right.
Yes.
The show right there, and then we'll have them in the front. Yeah. Just a little bit more. Good. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you.
Thank you. And just one more thing before I leave back to the media area. You'll find 2 things that were placed in front of you today. We have our Rio Review, which is a monthly kind of newsletter that we put out for every commission meeting. We have it online as well, and of course we have it there. We present a printed copy for you all, and then we have the calendar of events for this year, which I know there's been a few. It was the first time we've done one of these. It came out really nice, I think. We're gonna definitely improve and include more events that we have up in the next year that we do it, but just so you can kind of be updated on what we have going on for the rest of the year. So, and if things change, for anybody in the community, if things change, we will be putting it on our social media Facebook pages. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We also have Ms. Nora Foltz for the public library.
Welcome.
Hello, everybody, Mayor, Commission, public. We're happy to have everybody here today. I just briefly want to talk about the Rio Grande City Public Library. As you know, we have a really fun summer reading program that has already started, and we have a lot of kids that are participating. We have children, teens, and adults. We have a lot of people visiting the public library, and I just wanted to give you a brief mention about our visitors. In the last week in June, in May, we had 326 visitors. Since public library summer reading program started, last week we had 766 visitors at the public library. We have children, teens, and adults participating. This year's theme is Adventures at Your Library. We have 4 groups. We have 2 groups meeting daily, and on Fridays we have our Fun Friday event. We started with Jurassic RGV. It was really a great turnout. We had robotic dinosaurs coming in. The kids had a really cool time. We had a story time with Deadpool, and this week we're having Zumba. So anybody ready to exercise, we're going to be doing that this week. We'll have a Poke Fest also available. That was a great turnout last year. That's coming up in July. We have Thinking Money for Kids, Financial Literacy for Kids. That's an ALA, American Library Association grant that we received. It'll be started in July. We also we're going to be having a brand new program with UTRGV nursing program, and that'll be coming up in July as well. So I encourage all of you to come and visit the library, come and get your library card. Let us introduce you to the library and all the things that we have available in the library and online. And one final thing, for this month, HEB has selected Texas Library Association as a recipient. For anybody that wants to donate, if you go to HEB between June 5th and July 9th, they will be distributing any funds collected through all Texas libraries. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I don't know, the Rio Grande City Police Department?
Mayor, Commission, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Citizens, in your package, you should have our monthly report for the police department. I could run down a couple of numbers if you guys would like. For the month of May, we had a total of 56 traffic accidents that actually went down for the first time this year. Total arrests for 23 compared to 12 same time last year. Our calls did go up 50 calls from 691 May of 2023 to 741. And then there is a breakdown of different types of calls of most importance. Our incident reports were 124 for the whole month of May, which went up 14. We did have a total of 19 thefts, but that includes shoplifting to any little minor property thefts, not burglaries. Any questions on our?
Not from me, sir.
Well, thank you.
Anybody else? Good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor. Welcome aboard, Commissioners. I'm Hector Barrera. You should have my report there in your package. We take care of brush and potholes, and we clean the alleys. If you have any questions for our department, feel free to ask anything.
Did you get your trucks fixed, sir? The ones that,
Yes, we just got one truck back. We still have the other one, which is in real hydraulics. It should be done by next week.
okay.
They're waiting for parts.
Those are the brush trucks, right? The ones that pick up the brush?
Yes, the grapples.
Mr. Barrera, with the equipment you have right now on the trucks, is that enough to cover the whole city and be in good standing with most of our community members?
Not with the ones we have, we don't.
We don't?
We're gonna need new equipment, and we'll leave those ones for standby or whatever.
Have you worked on any plans to present to us?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I have a new grapple, and I have another one for only brush. Like, it doesn't have the grapple thing on the back.
Okay, percentage-wise, how much percentage can you say you're covering right now for the city at this moment that we're
Right
taking
now,
office?
we're a little bit behind because of the two trucks that were out, but I have the two backhoes and two other trucks that are dump trucks. So
Behind, like, how much behind?
I can say like we're like a week behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
But whenever you have that ready, if you can present it, so that way we can take into
Sure.
consideration
Yeah, I've been talking
what's
to
needed.
Yeah, to Mr. Cantu, and we have some proposals for.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing further. Thank you.
I think we're ready.
I'm sorry.
We're ready to move on.
Those are the only reports that we have at this moment. We're moving to item number 2, the consent agenda. Under the consent agenda 2A, we have the approval of the meetings from the previous meetings that have been held or conducted here at this chamber. Letter A, we have the approval of action taken at the meeting of the Planning and Zoning Committee, meeting held on May 9th of 2024. On item 2AB, approval of action taken at the notice for canvas meeting held on Tuesday, May 14th of 2024. And C, approval of action taken at the notice for canvas meeting held on on Monday, June the 3rd of 2024.
Mayor, I move that we approve items 2A and A, B, C.
I'm sorry?
I move that we approve items 2A, B, and C.
Does anybody second that motion?
I second.
Any discussion? There's a motion that has been presented, has been second, and at this time is going to be up for vote. Everybody that approves the motion say aye, or in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It goes by unanimous, so the motion carries.
The Department of Travel.
We move to 2B, which is the approval of departmental travel requests.
Okay, so we have several travel requests, but this item should be considered as one. It should be voted as one. We do have different travel requests by the fire department, by the police department, and also by the public library. And the information is within your packet. So we start on page 76, I'm sorry. On page 68.
Okay.
I would go for the fire department. And it's a workshop for 2 of their employees and in July 6th through the 9th. And then the next workshop for the public library is on page 76. And that would take place on July 9th through the 12th. And the last one was for the police department, which they underwent a training last week, Monday, June 3rd.
The training was last week?
Yes.
Well, the agenda items have been presented to the commission. Does anybody would like to make a motion at this
So
time?
moved, Mayor. So moved. I move that we approve item 2B.
Does anybody second the motion?
I second.
Anybody would like to discuss this item? Well, the motion has been seconded. The motion is now up for vote. Everybody that favors the motion, say aye.
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 Goes by unanimous vote, and motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, at this time, per legal's recommendation, I move that we adjourn to executive session and then come back to finish the rest of the meeting.
I second that. At this time, we're going to make a motion to adjourn so that we can move to executive meeting. Does anybody second that motion?
I second that.
Okay. Motion is up for, do we approve it? Yes.
For a vote, for approval?
Yes.
Unanimous. A reading of the time, Mayor,
6:23.
for the record.
Right now, for the record, the time is 6:23. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to reconvene. The time is 8:13, and we're proceeding back to our regular meeting. This time I'm addressing item number 8, to reconvene into the regular session and consideration on action on matters discussed during executive session, including the following. B, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding several legal and real estate matters as discussed in executive session. Is there a motion in this matter?
No action.
There's one
There
action
is.
item, Mr. Mayor, under item 7B. There's one legal matter that was discussed. So there
It's
would be a-
7B?
Yes, so if it would be to the, I guess the motion would be to approve item 7B as discussed in executive session.
Okay, going back, and so that the record is clear, we're going to be addressing 7B. Is there a motion on that matter as discussed in executive session?
Yes, 72. Yes, and just to clarify confusion, the reason why we're bringing that motion up is because we're reconvening under item 8. The mayor has announced item 8B, and so 8B relates to item 7B. So the motion would be to approve item 7B as discussed in executive session, and that's a legal matter.
Correct. Okay. So at this time, is there a motion to approve 7B?
I so move we approve item
Any-
7B.
Anybody seconds?
I second that.
Any discussion on that matter?
No discussion, Mayor, just a vote.
Okay. And at this time, we're moving for a vote. Everybody that favors the motion and approves the motion, say aye.
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 Goes by unanimous decision and motion carries. This time, we're addressing 7C as well.
It would be it's to the mayor's discretion, but you've got item A still, 8A still pending.
I'm sorry?
Item 8A?
Yes, I'm going to address that at the very end. It's going to be addressed at the very
Okay,
end.
so then it would be there was no action on item 8C, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, all right. Yes. So the only pending matter is 8A regarding the executive session.
Yes. So now,
And at this point, I'm abstaining and recusing myself from any consideration regarding 8A.
And the mayor would like to delegate the coverage of item 8A to any commissioner on the panel. We could convene to Commissioner Barrera.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Mayor.
And Mr. Mayor, if you'd like to excuse yourself, we guide Mr. Ediel Barrera on it.
Yes, absolutely.
7C.
And so, Mr. Ediel Barrera,
Yes.
the first item on item 8A would be to invite a motion.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve items 8A as we previously discussed in closed session?
And yes, sir, Mr. Barrera, it would be 7A. 7A1.
781, yes. Can I have a motion for that?
So moved, sir. So moved.
I second to approve motion 7A1
As discussed in executive
as
session.
discussed in this executive session.
So we're open for vote.
So at this time, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
That would be
Motion,
unanimous.
that will be unanimous. Motion carries.
Yes, sir. And also under item 8A, Commissioner Barrera, you've got, you could invite a motion to approve item 7A2 also as discussed in executive session.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve items 7A2 as we previously discussed in executive session?
I second the motion. There's a motion? We'll take that as a motion. Is there a second on that motion?
Is there a second for that
Oh, there's a
motion?
motion, a second. All right.
All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Saying aye? Motion carries.
And under the same item, Commissioner Barrera, of 8A, we now have if you would like to entertain a motion to approve item 7A3 also as discussed in executive session.
7E3. Can I have a,
7A3.
can I have a motion to discuss, to approve items 8A as we previously discussed in executive session?
7A3?
Yes.
783.
7A3.
I move that we approve item 783 as discussed in executive session.
I second.
Can I second that? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously.
And just for the record, Commissioner Barrera and City Council, items 8A, 8B have been addressed. Items 7A1, 7A2, 7A3 have been approved by this commission as discussed in executive. And item 7B has also been approved as discussed in executive session. There is no action on 8C. And so the commission is now welcome to bring Mayor Falcon back to now continue the order of business for item 3A of the agenda.
Thank you. Are we back to 3A?
Yes, sir.
Going back to item 3A for consideration, first reading of ordinance number 2024-04, an ordinance annexing the hereinafter described territory to the city of Rio Grande City, Stark County, Texas, and extending the boundary limits of said city so as to include said hereinafter described property within the city limits, and granting to all the inhabitants of said property all the rights and privileges of other citizens, and binding said inhabitants by all of the acts, ordinances, resolutions, and regulations of said city, and adopting a service plan or agreement. Having considered item 3A, is there a motion on this item?
I so move.
Does anybody second the motion?
I second.
Discussion of this matter?
Any questions? We're available to entertain any questions.
Anybody? No? Having presented the motion for discussion and there being no discussion at this time, the item is up for approval. All of those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving forward to item 4, the resolutions. 4A, discussion, consideration, and possible action to amend and adopt a corporate resolution naming authorized signatories on Lone Star National Bank account. Is there a motion in this matter?
I so move.
Anybody second the motion?
I second.
Okay. It's up for consideration and discussion. Does anybody have any questions regarding this item?
On this one, just for the record, Mayor, there is a master signature card that's being incorporated that basically is the resolution, and that will be provided by Director Cantu.
Okay. Having discussed the issue, this item is up for a vote. Does anybody, I'm sorry, having considered this item, we're moving now for a vote of this item. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving to resolution 4B, discussion, consideration, possible action to amend and adopt the resolution 2024-18, a resolution of the city of Rio Grande City removing and appointing members of the Rio Grande City Economic Development Corporation.
Mayor and Commission, before you is a resolution number 2024-18, and this is a resolution appointing new members to our EDC board. This is a recommendation from our commission to add new members to our EDC board from different industries that will help us continue to move forward with our beautiful city.
Having the item being presented, is there a motion to consider this matter?
I approve the motion.
Does anybody second the motion?
I second the motion.
Okay. Being that the motion has been seconded, it's up for discussion. Does anybody have any questions or concerns or would like to discuss anything related to this item?
I do have a discussion for that item. And like I've been mentioning, our role here as the new representatives for the city of Rio Grande, this is a true reflection of our intentions. As Ms. Hernandez just mentioned, the new members will be from different industries to fulfill the needs of the EDC. So with that being said, just wanted to let the community know that our intentions are the best for this community, and we think the new EDC will come through, and we'll have a great success. Thank you for those new members, and congratulations.
And to add to what Commissioner Barrera was indicating is that our intention remains that we want for the EDC to prosper. And we believe that in order for the EDC to prosper, the members of the EDC have to understand finance and have to obviously represent the community throughout. And we have considered some of the candidates, and I think that candidates from various fields, from banking to engineering to TxDOT to a number of different walks of life are going to be representing the EDC. And we think that with this new members that are going to be joining in, that a more diverse board will be considering the needs of the city and also those individuals that want to see that the city prospers. We believe that it's in the best interest of the city, and it is our hope that all of these individuals that we're appointing to the EDC, that they perform as we expect and that they can push the city to boundaries that have never been seen in the past. Thank you. Having set up the item for discussion at this time, the motion is up for a vote for approval.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
How long is the term?
The terms are for a period of 2 years. However, since we have some members that will be replacing previous members and the terms do not change, some will be on a 1-year term to expire of May of 2025, and that would be 4 of the members. I'm sorry, 3 of the members, and 4 of the members will expire in 2026.
Okay.
Yes, so we can work together on determining who will go into which slot, but it is for a term of 2 years.
Okay.
Then, if that's the commission's understanding, then I would request just a brief amendment to the resolution. First, second, third, fourth paragraph, just notes there it's to serve an unexpired term. Is that the commission's intention, or?
That's how the bylaws are written, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody has any more questions and concerns? Well, at this time, the item is up for vote and approval. All of those that are in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Motion carries with the majority.
Thank you.
Moving forward to Resolution 4C.
Was there a motion to approve? Was there a motion to approve it?
On this last one that you just did, there was a motion. I think we logged 1 abstention because there was 1 vote we didn't take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a motion.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
Did you intend the abstention? Is it?
No, I
Okay, you want to vote in the affirmative?
for affirmative,
Unanimous.
yes.
Moving forward with Resolution 4C, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding the interlocal cooperation agreement for tax assessment and collection between the Rio Grande City Gruya Independent School District and the City of Rio Grande City.
Mr. Mayor, I would like for us to approve I make a motion to approve item 4C.
Does anybody second the motion?
I second.
Okay. Being that the motion has been seconded, it's up for discussion. Any discussion on this item?
I do want to discuss something on this item, and I was asking earlier on this one, the benefits of having it combined with the school district, Mr. Cantu, is that beneficial for our city, or what is your recommendation as the CFO of this entity?
I believe it's beneficial. I don't think it's worth the city taking into everything that goes into collecting the taxes. It's the software, personnel. I think the school charges us 6%. It amounts to $220,000 a year. I don't think we could be able to afford the personnel or the software, everything that's needed to be able to collect the taxes. So I think it's beneficial both ways for us in the school.
Have you ever encountered any situations or problems?
No, every month they send us a check promptly at the beginning of the month with a report, and everything's it's been good so far since I've been here.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else has any discussion or questions on this item? Being that there's a motion on the table and it's up for approval, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving forward to resolution number 4D, discussion, consideration, and possible action on resolution 2024-20, a resolution calling for tax exemption for qualifying child care providers per Senate Bill 1145 and Senate Joint Resolution 64.
Mayor and Commissioners, this is a new law that was passed in 2023. It came into effect on January the 1st, 2024. It allows for council to forgive minimum of 50% of the appraised value on child care facilities. And I think there's one child care facility that qualifies here in the city. So it's up to you all to decide. Only one so far, yeah. To give a minimum of 50% discount, could go all the way up to 100%, but it's up to your discretion.
Minimum 50% up to 100%?
Yes.
And where can you apply to this?
I'm not at the appraisal office. They're the ones that take all the information, but they did inform us that there was only one child care facility that qualified for it.
Okay. And do you know what are the considerations for applicants?
I think it should be attached there. There's a Texas Tax Code 11.36. It gives all the, I guess, qualifications that they need to meet.
And obviously, this resolution that we're putting up for a vote, that reflects the new bill and state law that has been passed.
Correct.
Any further discussion in this matter? Questions or concerns?
This resolution says 50% of the appraised value. Is that
So
that's
it
what
would be
we're
minimum 50%, but it's up to your discretion. You all can decide what you want to forgive on it.
And this is just our city taxes, am I correct?
Yes, just city taxes.
And you have no idea how much they're paying right now?
I have no idea, no. I don't even know which child care facility was the one that qualified. All that information is at the appraisal office.
Only one qualified or only one applied?
I'm not sure. They just told me so far there's only one, or at least, well, the deadline's already been met, so only one qualified for the benefits. I'm not sure if other child cares didn't apply or they didn't just qualify because of the regulations that were.
And you don't know the name of the...
I don't know the name now. I'm sorry?
Should we wait?
Qualified. They're telling me there's a facility that's on San Antonio Street, south of San Antonio Street, but I'm not sure which.
Do you have any idea, or does anybody within the city have an idea as to what the neighboring cities are doing about this resolution, whether they're keeping it at 50%?
Well, this is the first time that this resolution's been passed. Laura from the school district told me that, I wanted to say that only one city had passed it so far in the whole valley, but it needs to be passed sometime in June before the tax.
Only one city had passed it?
Only one city has passed the resolution so far, but everybody needs to do it.
I think it's a great idea, just the matter of fact is that we don't know, like we don't have numbers, we don't know which one is it, we don't, I mean,
But
it would be great to help him out.
Yeah, it's still a new law also. I think we have to forgive. I mean, I don't know what the legal says about it.
Does the city get compensated by the state or not?
No.
No, right? It's just, nomás se perdona.
Okay.
What would
Were you
legal?
considering having more exemption, or?
I think
The commission could move to postpone to the next meeting.
No, but if it has a deadline,
Well, I think that this is My concern would be, can we help them out, even in addition to the 50%? And the consideration would be, if we do help out childcare to those businesses, how much are we gonna be burdened by that, by not collecting that tax? And obviously, we don't have those numbers.
Right.
And the only thing that we have here is that there's a new state law that's ordering the cities to implement this, correct?
That's
At a
correct.
minimum of 50%.
Right, that's correct.
So I think that at this point, it should be up for a motion for a vote and consider the 50%, and then, so that we can comply with state law.
So move, Mayor. I make that motion.
Okay, does anybody second the motion?
I second.
Okay. Well, having discussed the motion, and having the motion in front of us, it's up for approval. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving to Resolution 4E, discussion, consideration, and possible action on Resolution 2024-21, a resolution for amendment of the Home Rule Charter of Rio Grande City, Texas, proposing an amendment to Section 2.01, composition, eligibility, election terms, and election transition provisions to limit the amount of election terms that may be held by one person on the city commission. Do I have a motion to hear this matter?
I motion that item, sir.
Does anybody second that?
I second.
It's been seconded. Having the item been presented, it's up for discussion. This is one of the items that it is very important to us, to this administration, to bring up in our first meeting. And to start off the discussion, what this is going to do for the city is that it's going to implement a limit of 2 terms per candidate that can serve, as well as the mayor. So this is going to change the dynamics of this commission. Obviously, there are several things, because I want to be transparent about what this amendment is going to require. I'll be transparent with y'all, and I'll let you know that passing this, if this item were to pass tonight, it's not going to automatically change the city charter. The city charter calls for an election to have an amendment. But this is the first thing that we need to do. We need to approve an election to change the city charter. We're going to take advantage, if this matter passes tonight, we're going to take advantage to revise the whole city charter, to try to clarify the city charter, to try to implement and to comply with the most current city charters of other cities. We believe that what was provided, it was a great starting point, but I think that it can always be better. It can be modified in ways that are going to serve the city in a much better way. So with that in mind, I'll let the other commissioners to see if they have any questions or considerations regarding this item.
Legal recommendation of this, Mayor, because this is a proposal for the charter amendment. It's now up for discussion as to whether or not you want the commission would like this ordinance drafted and possibly pick, because we've got plenty of time, it would be the next presidential general election would be the next date of availability to submit this to the voters for approval. Between now and then, we could draft the ordinance, if that's the case, that the commission decides today, and select that as what would be the date, and then start providing notices. But this is the opportunity for the discussion for
Yes.
that.
So at this time, we want to pass, we want for this item to be considered, as far as the date is concerned, we would have to sit down and really discuss the timing to see if we're going to have enough time to put everything together, carry this election, how much it's going to cost, and all those considerations. So as far as when, ideally, we would like to present it during this presidential election, but we need to consider all of those things, the financial burden to the city, and make sure that we address it properly. Anybody else has any questions or concerns, comments?
I do. This was extremely important for our administration when we were in the campaign. For me personally, having term limits, it was essential for everything that we have been through in the last 10 years. The excessive power of certain individuals were not in the best interest of our city. So today, it is extremely important, and we are making history for you, the community members of RGC. If this goes through with the legal department and it goes to a vote in November, it will be very, very hard to come back to these non-term limits. With the people, for the people. Thank you.
So for the commission, if I could, just to avoid quorum on the discussion 8.9, what we'll do is we'll prepare an ordinance based on this resolution in anticipation of that general election being the election date.
Correct.
And then submit it to the
Yes, sir.
commission for approval. All right.
Any other member would like to have a discussion or have a comment on this particular item?
By that being said, having these term limits, for sure it's going to prevent entrenchment. It's going to increase accountability. And of course, it's going to reduce the corruption, you know, by some officials that, I mean, there's a greater chance to be corrupted when there's so many years in power. So this is one of the things, and like the commission said, I mean, this is something that it's very important for us. So term limits is the way to go. Thank you.
To me, this matter is important because I think that it brings innovation, it brings new ideas to the commission, and not only that, but to the current elected members. I think that it lights up a fire on them so that they can move quick, because the term is going to be done potentially in 8 years. So I think that this provides a great balance for the current members of this commission. And it also helps the commission bring innovation, new ideas, let in other individuals who can come in and lead in a different direction than what it's currently being done. And I think that only signifies progress. Thank you. Having the matter been discussed and having a motion on this matter, at this time, the motion is up for approval and vote. All of those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. The motion carries unanimously. Thank you.
Welcome.
Moving forward to item 5, items for consideration. 5A, discussion, consideration, and possible action on expenditures for the City of Rio Grande City Public Works Department. It relates to ARPA funds distributed to the city.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. This is the, it's funds for 17 street lights on Eisenhower, and for you to approve, yeah. It's gonna be from 3167 all the way to Fairgrounds.
Is there a current survey as to the lighting necessities and needs of the city, as to what is missing, what do we need, besides this project, obviously?
We're gonna be working on sections. We started on Los Treviños. We still got, like, I think another 17 lights in Los Treviños area. And we're gonna be working on other subdivisions as well.
Okay. But as of we stand today, we don't have a particular survey as to what are the necessities of the city in terms of lighting?
No.
And who would be the proper person that could provide a survey? And
It's my department with AEP.
okay. And of course, I'm just talking about the identification of the needs of each city and road.
Yeah.
Sorry, the street and road that may need some lighting, or replacement of lighting. But
Yeah.
Anyway. Is there a motion in this matter?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, for discussion, anybody? Having the motion being presented and second, it's up for approval and vote.
I do have a discussion on that one. Just Mr. Barrera, on that one, the 17 lights that you're proposing here, did you get quotes from different vendors or from where?
No, it's only AP.
AP, totally.
They're the ones that service that Eisenhower.
Oh, okay,
And in Los Treviños area as well.
great. No cost for the city at all?
Yes, there's a cost. It's I think it's in your packet.
21,000.
But it's ARPA.
How much is it?
ARPA funds.
It's
21,000.
So these lights are powered by EAP?
Yeah, they're powered by AP. And they only install the, new, I believe it's like 5 more transformers and wire that you need to for.
And then monthly service for those, do you have an idea?
For each one?
Yes.
Well, it all depends if they need, on some of those, you don't need a transformer, so it's less. I can say it's like, if you divide 21,000 by 17.
Okay.
That's the, more or less the cost.
Can you please also work on that survey that the mayor just mentioned, just so that we can start covering the whole city?
Sure.
'Cause,
Yeah, we're gonna get sections and subdivisions, so. we can-
Especially in Los Treviños area, Los Garcias, all those places are dark,
Yeah.
extremely dark. So I think with your survey, we're going to be able to identify those needs and, of course, go by priorities.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else for discussion or questions?
Have we looked into solar, some of those lights?
The solars, we have, we had some quotes here on Trophy,
Okay.
but they're too expensive and they're not, like
allowed?
the life expand, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
too short.
Okay.
And AP services from the day you install them till whenever you need to, like another light, they'll come and fix it.
And it's just the electricity bill?
Yeah.
For them?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. So having a motion up on the table, up for approval, and all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Moving forward to section 5B, discussion, consideration, and possible action on the approval of the allowance expenditure authorization number 5 for the Public Safety Building Project 2020.06.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Before you, you have an allowance expenditure under the Public Safety Building. These are certificate of obligation bond funds. There are several areas in the design that needed some additional work. You have it there on the memo. It's in the bathroom, it's on some janitor rooms, power to the gates at the Sally Port, and an opening between the workstation and the dispatcher's area. We do have our architect here, Ms. Laura Warren, to explain more in detail on these items. Excuse me, go ahead, Laura.
Good evening, honorable members of the commission. My name, for the record, Laura Warren, president of the Warren Group Architects, your architect. First, to clarify, an allowance expenditure means this is money that has been allocated to the project. So this doesn't change the bottom line. We're still in the black and within budget. We still have monies in there. The project, when we started, went, or the initial planning of it was right during COVID. And it experienced multiple changes, and then also opportunities in getting a grant to have now a shelter or an area to support the EOC. So the project endured over 10 major changes. So we needed to go for bids, and as an effort to be able to get this up for bid under contract, the design team decided to put an allowance there for contingencies that will allow us to make some little tweaks and still keep your project within budget. Now, this is not money that is spent without consideration, review, and making sure that this is fair to everybody, especially the taxpayers. So we are submitting these things for your review. Some changes have been occurring in ADA. that, of course, there's state mandate and federal mandate, that when adopted, even though your project is already under construction or permitted, it needs to be in full compliance once it's completed or by the time that a certificate of occupancy is issued. So some adjustments needed to be done. Some ceilings needed to be adjusted, and then power wanted to be added to some areas. So again, we still have money left, and you're still within budget. After this contingency expenditure, we still have $32,000, $238.22 available for discretionary funds if you use them. We're near completion, and as you can tell, the project is unique. There's no other project like this in the state. The design was designed specifically for the residents of Rio Grande City. On the other one, there's two types of change orders. One of them that adjust the cost of the construction, and another one is for time. Why is this important, and why do we have to go through this process? Because when the contractor issues their bid, they tell you how many days they're considering to have this completed. Right after that, there's such thing called liquidated damages, meaning that every day that they're late, at no fault to them, no rain or anything that is outside their control, there's a fine. There's penalties charged to them. So when rain occurs, which are acts of God, or when things that are impacted by world economics, such as the war in Ukraine and COVID, and say, well, hold on, we passed COVID. What happened? What is our issues with China have to do with this, and what does the war with Ukraine have to do with it? It's because the natural resources are not solely powered or in charge by the United States. You know, we have to resource a lot of our aluminum to Russia, the steel from China, the steel are a lot in control of those major natural resources, and does affect world trade and how available we have things as aluminum to finish the electrical panels or the air conditioning units. We do review these things week to week. The general contractor who's here present, and I have to be very fair, I have nothing to do business with them, and nor I have any interest in increasing the cost or anything. I have a flat fee. I'm the only architect, I think, that does that regionally. My goal is to make sure that you guys have a project within budget. They reviewed things that are long lead items from the very beginning, and we reviewed and approved the submittals at the very first month that they got hired. And we're at the hands of the people who manufacture the air conditioning unit. So one time they tell you it's going to ship at this day, and then the next time, if you don't pay a premium, guess what? You get moved to the bottom of the list. These are things that are not at fault of them, and I'm saying this on their behalf because I want to be fair. And we don't want to crucify somebody. We want to make sure that they have allocated a fair time to finish their work.
And excuse me, miss, and you think
Yes.
that's happening?
Yeah, I'm sorry?
You think that's happening? What you're
Yeah,
describing?
and now we have a deadline. If I don't want to say we don't want rain because we do, but then we don't. So that's something we can control. So if we don't have any other major rains, right now we're scheduled to be finished by when, Ms. Bess? Do we have any deadline? Yes.
So the item on the agenda right now is on the allowance.
Yeah.
And it is an amount of money that's there for contingencies that come up during the construction.
Yes.
It does not add to the contract amount. And if it's not used, the contract goes down because they weren't used.
Yeah.
We've done this in the past with our paving project where we had an allowance for testing. The testing wasn't completely used, that money came back. So we didn't have to pay it out and the contract was reduced.
We still have credit.
So this, where you have your list is where that money is being proposed. There's 15,000 and it's being powered to the Sally Port, the area of the PD that goes in, when they're bringing a, perpetrator, violator, and of course on the closets in the ceilings.
We added ceilings at the janitor's closets. We thought it was better use of that, yeah.
They had to add some electrical and some ceiling for the ceiling tiles. That was one of them. And then on the relocation of the sink and the bath, this was at the gym, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, the wall opening between the
Dispatch.
area of the dispatch where the monitors are and where the people would be taking a break. And in order to make sure that they're constant viewing the monitors of the dispatch, they ask for an opening to be in that wall. So those items that.
Who asked for that
changed-
opening?
I'm sorry?
Who asked for the opening?
The dispatchers at the police department.
Okay,
They
so
were
they
told-
themselves are the ones that actually went over to the location and said, hey, we need
Yeah.
an opening here?
Originally, the idea was for them to be able to have a mental break and segregate from the dispatch area and be able to rest or take their break fully. But I guess when you start reevaluating things and they go, you know what, we really can't take a full break. We still have to have one eye on this side and one eye while we're taking our break. Then they said, can we have that opening? Unfortunately, when that came up, the wall was already built. So I said, okay, well, we still have money, let's review it. The money came in at fair and reasonable price, and they work with us, so.
And of course, this, all of this is pending your all's approval. Won't be done until the contractor's waiting for a direction in order to continue with this. But yes, sir, the dispatchers, they work 12-hour shifts. It is a job that I don't think I could handle, hearing all of those emergency
Right.
calls.
High stress, yeah.
Yes.
If it's something that was convenient for them, I mean, I don't see an issue, but going to the most expensive one, which is $9,300.
Yes.
And that's to provide ceilings, that I'm wondering, and obviously, we haven't talked, I don't know much about the project, but I'm wondering,
It was
what is
not
the
a-
reason to provide ceilings to janitor rooms when I think that obviously they should have had from the,
Not necessarily. Some janitor closets have exposed structure, their utility rooms, but sometimes they don't want people hiding or having things, so they ask for a hard ceiling, and it's a matter of preference. They're requesting them. We said, okay, you can pay for them before or after. So we do review the cost for it and make sure that it's fair and reasonable before it's presented to you.
and when you say that they're requesting, who are we talking about?
The ceilings, they say, well, we want to have ceilings here. We don't want to have all
Yes,
the way
but
up.
who's saying we want to have
The
ceilings?
users, the fire chief, the police chief, the people who are there, we really rather have some ceilings in here. I said, okay, that's fine. We can provide those. Otherwise, the walls will just go all the way up to the deck and have an exposed structure.
There are 5 closets, Mayor.
Yeah, there's 5 janitors' rooms.
Ms. Laura, so basically your point of contact is any director that wants to make a change, they can just go with
Well,
your
they-
company and they can request
Obviously,
it?
we're going through approval here in the process, so nobody's just doing these things. But people that live there, who serve when other people are running away.
No, but I'm asking you
Yeah.
a simple question, so they can go and request something and then it gets approved. Is there a point of contact right now with the city for these specific change orders?
Well, we work with the whole team, we work
But there's
with
no
fire
there's
chief,
no
with people who
specific
use the
person?
dispatch. No. So we have, well, before was your city manager, and they review the request, just like the ones for the dispatch, and again, projects evolve because the project endured many changes. And we were adjusting, and for the record, at no charge to the city. Before you start looking at the
No charge
architect
after
and-
your initial charge, right?
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
And when we design something, no architectural firm includes more than 1 or 2 changes. 10 major changes is practically doing 10 projects. So we help evaluate and provide a lot of services at no cost, evaluating including any other projects. So when a lot of changes were being made, some things were left undone to be able to send the project out for bid and then finesse when we are doing these things. And that's why we had an allowance expenditure, so we can finesse that. So if we said, okay, let's save money by doing this, and then we provide a ceiling here but not there, and then we say, you know what, the walls need to go all the way up. We do either the walls up or the ceiling. We didn't want to hold project back on bidding based on that. So we added the ceilings, we said which ones needed to be added, and we are providing this to you for approval. But again, a lot of things, sometimes when you send out and they're still tweaking things, that's what the allowance is there for. It's called a contingency allowance.
I
So,
totally understand.
yeah.
I come from the
But,
same
yeah, so
industry as
then
you.
This is no, us not having the standard
Yeah,
level of,
I-
actually, we have gone,
Totally agree. Now, you just mentioned that we'll still within budget, right?
Yes, sir. We
Yeah,
still
within
have
budget
credit.
for the estimated amount, but in reality, Ms. Beas, do we have that money ready to come up with the total amount that it was going to be for this building? Do we have it on with us right now?
I know that we have the CO bonds, the certificate of obligation bonds, and I believe the finance director is right now waiting on the reimbursement from USDA.
So we don't have the funds yet right now with us to cover the fund, the total.
The whole project?
Yes.
I believe with the USDA monies, we would, you know,
Well, that's not it.
Yeah. So no, we don't have the money, right, Mr. Cantu? Right now, so right now we don't have the money.
Now for this, because since we had the USDA grant that we need to be reimbursed, that's gonna be part of this. As far as that amount of the allowance, it has been budgeted for. It's just,
Yeah, I understand.
we save it, but I'm not sure.
No money with us right now. That's basically what I'm asking. Okay, we have to still complete some bonds with USDA or other entities, right? But that's my concern.
Money is on hand, it's just right now the way we're using it, we're spending it and we're waiting to get reimbursed. It's gonna get reimbursed to the general fund.
And how far is that application going? When is the deadline?
Today, we sent the last document. They were requesting the articles of incorporation for the city. USDA out of Edinburgh sends this to Temple. Temple will ask for it from Washington. They open them like a letter of credit in a sense where we can draw down those funds. They have received all the costs associated with the project that they will find eligible. We only ask for reimbursement on equipment. It is federal funds. They have asked us to comply with the Buy America, Build America. We have complied with that. And so it's taken us this long to get us those funds down. But we have not received not a single cent from USDA yet.
How long have the city been working on that application?
The application was submitted, I want to say about right after that Congressman Cuellar had announced the award, or that he was...
How much was that award for?
2.5.
2.5, 650, something like that.
Has this building been increasing the price ever since that award was given to our city?
The building was initially, back when the bonds were put out, was around like 6 million. And in the transports of designing, where initially it was only going to house the fire department, it went ahead to house both first responders, fire and PD. So then it did grow. Then when we found out about the earmark allocation from Congressman Cuellar, we were able to add a shelter in there. And so it did go into cost because of the shelter that was added.
From 6 to what?
I believe it's at 10 million.
Yeah.
From 6 to 10 million.
Yes.
But it also changed the original purpose and the size of the building?
Oh, yes. And it went from 1 story to 2 stories. We did a lot of things to try to do value engineering because it was coming at more. I provided a comprehensive opinion of probable cost. It came within 1% of where I told the city I felt that it was going to come in.
We also had to deal with the supply and the COVID prices that were not holding.
Prices.
So what was initially budgeted when the bonds went out at 6 million would not cover.
Steel,
when
copper,
they
and aluminum.
actually went out for bids.
Thank you for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
But yeah, the bottom line of your contract has not changed. So what is under contract, what you will get is, it can only go down if all the allowance expenditures are not committed, so.
One more question on my behalf. You said there's a representative here from Gerlach?
Yes, the contractors here.
Oh, I know you. Yes, I've seen you in the other building from the school district. Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Just a quick question that comes to my mind. and this is just based on experience. I saw a board meeting from another entity not too long ago, and I noticed that the builder's risk for the other building was not issued since the beginning, and I just want to make sure that our building for this city of Rio Grande has a builder's risk paid since day one.
Yes, sir.
It does?
Yes.
Okay. Can you provide a copy of that builder's risk with the certification of insurance, please?
Will do.
Thank you.
In the list of allowances, Mayor and Commissioners, you do have the option to select which one you want to approve or disapprove. We've just presented everything that was being requested.
Mayor, I would like to move that we approve item 6A as presented, keeping in mind that we are still within the budgeted amount.
One of the things that before we move on that item, one of the things that I wanted to say and address the lady, I'm sorry, I didn't catch her name.
Laura.
Warren.
Ms. Warren. Ms. Warren, I wanted to address you, okay, because I have some questions about this. And
Sure.
I'm fairly new. This is our first meeting.
We
in
understand,
the
and there's a
city
lot
council,
going
I'm not-
on, and
I'm not very
Yeah.
well informed as to this project, and I'll be very candid with you, okay? If this was my money right now, and if it was my project coming out of my own pocket, and if my wife were to call me and say, hey, come on over, because I want to add an extra room to this project or to a house that we're building, to something, I would like to get more information.
we'll be very happy to provide you with that.
So, from my end, I don't think that I'm ready to make a decision on this matter.
Okay.
Simply because I would like to talk to the people that you make reference to see if these are necessities that we need. And the good thing is, as you mentioned, that we're within budget, and that's great.
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, I don't feel 100% comfortable paying some money that I don't understand, especially if it's not my money.
No, and
You know,
we take the
because
same,
If you were to look at it from my end, I see here that it says, provide ceilings to 5 janitor rooms. And to me, the first thing that comes, okay, so aren't they supposed to have ceilings already?
no, the electrical classes also don't have ceilings. I mean, it's a matter of preference, and again, like I mentioned before, because this project endured so
Right.
many major changes, that some things were left undiscussed or left without saying. Sometimes we were doing value engineering.
Right.
And I said, you know what, maybe we need the ceilings here, let's add them. We think they're needed, it's better for comfort and acoustics.
And I appreciate that.
But it's a matter of
Yeah.
preference.
And I appreciate that you're very conscientious about the needs, but at the same
Yeah.
time, I gotta be conscientious about the public. And if I were to go there and talk to these individuals, and the firefighters would tell me, hey, you know what, this is a necessity that we need, it would make us a lot more comfortable, it would make us a lot more efficient, then by all means. But at this point, I simply don't have that information.
Yeah, the only one that I have to advise you that is required, that is for $847, is to adjust to the new, to ADA requirements, so, and it's for $847. And I think those is best if I recommend consideration
Can I rescind my
to
motion?
this. The rest
Can
is,
I rescind my motion? Yes, I want to rescind my motion, and I want to instead make a motion to approve the relocation of the sink and bath accessories while we gather more information on the other expenses.
yeah.
It's not necessary to rescind. There was no second?
Yes.
So that would be the motion?
Okay, that would be-
That's open to second.
Okay,
Ms. Warren, what are the repercussions? What, if we table this? How is?
I don't know what time will that have, since it's not it's not due to any, any of the contractors, I mean, you're choosing to hold on some items that may add more days for them to be able to go back and complete these items if you choose to approve also the wall opening at dispatch or.
And I'm confident to say that by next week, we should have an answer.
Thank you,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'll be happy to make myself personally available and also do a walkthrough. I think that's something that you'll be very pleased that amidst all these changes and challenges, we were able to deliver to you a project within budget, which is really also unheard of.
Yes, and I appreciate that very much, ma'am.
Okay, you will. Thank you.
So recommendation for the commission?
What was your motion?
My motion was to approve what needs to be approved, which is the
$800.
the sink and the bathroom accessories, so we can be ADA compliant,
And to postpone?
and to postpone the rest until we get more information.
Yes.
Does anybody second that?
I second that.
Okay. Being that the motion has been second and discussed, is up for approval and vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I think this is a very important project for Rio Grande City.
Yes.
It's a beautiful building. I think it fills a huge void. And once it's finished, I think,
It's going to be great.
yeah, it's going to be great for the city.
I agree with you on that. We just, like the mayor said, these are public funds, and our main goal here is to have transparency and needs to the community, and just to make it in the best possible way for approval. And maybe with this new commission, we can have somebody assigned to be that person relating and bringing information of what's needed. So maybe the new interim city manager can work with that later. But I do agree with you. It's going to be one of the best buildings in Texas for that, and it's going to look good.
Moving forward with item 5C, discussion, consideration, and possible action on the approval of change order number 3 for a time extension for the Public Safety Building Project 2020.06.
So this is a change order, Commissioners and Mayor. This is a change order to allow more time, and the time is based on rain days. It took the contractor several, months, or actually 2 months, to get us all the documentation proving that there had been rain. He had to get photos, he had to get a weather report. And so there was rain days, and then there was some additional days for the allowance, previous allowances that were approved. So it now comes to a final date of July 31st. This is a substantial completion date. So this is the day when they'll do a final walkthrough, not a final walkthrough, a walkthrough so we can come up with a punch list. It is the expectancy to move into the building about 45 days after, this walkthrough, so that all punch list items are addressed, furniture is installed, and then it can be moved in.
Beth, do you think those funds will arrive before those 45 days?
We were told that it would take about 3 months, but this was about a month ago when we started sending all the information.
So we're 60 days away, but the completion is 45 days. Will they wait for the final payment?
Well, they still have retainage, sir. They still have a retainage, which is not given until everything is done. So even
And
if
it's 45 days from July 31st, right, if I understood correctly?
45 days
From now?
to
July-
move in?
No, yeah. July 31st?
Yes, depending on the list, if it's a long punch list, then yes. If it's a short punch list,
No,
which we
okay, this guy understood that it was 45 days after July 31st that we could move in. Did
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so that would be September. Yeah.
ready for the new budget year.
And does this extension increase the cost?
Not at all, sir.
I so move.
Okay. Anybody second the motion?
I second the motion.
Okay. Having considered the motion and discussed the motion, it's up for vote. All of those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Moving forward with item 6, planning A, discussion and possible action on approval of Treasure Hill subdivision phase 1.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. My name is Gilbert Milan. I'd like to welcome you to the city family. This subdivision is a proposed, it's a preliminary stage proposed subdivision, multifamily use. This is east of Veterans Middle School. There's some existing apartments there on location. This is actually to the north side. It's got access entrances to both on the sides of those apartments. U-shaped lot. It's 83 multifamily lots. It's for a townhome building. The water and sewer is provided by the city of Rio Grande. 8-inch sewer lines is existing location along Eisenhower Road. And it has been recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
And you said this is in Eisenhower?
Along Eisenhower, yes.
Right next to Veterans.
Correct.
Towards McAllen,
There's some
the east.
existing apartments there, and this proposed subdivision surrounds those apartments. It's got acreage to the north side of those existing apartments, and it's got access entrances to the east and west of those apartments. And it's preliminary approval. They have to do all the infrastructure and present to the plan department plans, et
And
cetera.
you said there is sewer service there?
There is, yes, along Eisenhower. The existing apartments there, they have water and sewer. And fire lanes.
Any discussion on this matter with the commissioners?
Mayor, I move that we approve item 6A.
I do have a discussion on that one. Mr. Milan, you said it's gonna surround an existing apartment complex there?
Correct. That's the
Like
shape of the
on
lot.
one side, in the back, on the other side?
Correct.
So it's gonna be encroaching there?
No, not necessarily. It's, I don't know, you have the plans?
Because I think there's frontage. I think the apartment has frontage.
Can you bring them, please? Veterans.
Veterans is on the side. This is the existing apartments, and this is the access entrance to both sides.
Okay.
And it's gonna be for multi-family use. Residential areas. It shouldn't affect at all, you know, this.
How many?
How many
83.
units?
83.
We had representatives of the developer here.
83.
Who's the president?
Real or real? I think it's
83
real.
units.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for having these plans. 83 units. Is the developer here? No? Okay.
Having the item been discussed, is there a motion on this item?
I have made a motion.
Having a motion pending, does anybody second the motion?
I second the motion.
Okay. Being that the motion has been discussed and is up for approval, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Goes by unanimous, motion carries. And, I think that concludes our business for tonight. Is there a motion for adjournment on this matter?
Mayor, were you gonna conduct the oath?
Yes. Yeah, at this time, we're going to welcome our new municipal judge, Mr. Rene Orlando Garza. And having honesty being presented and accepted the offer for employment, at this point, I'm going to administer an oath of office. In the name and authority of the state of Texas, oath of office. Please repeat after me. I René Orlando Garza, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the duties as a Rio Grande City municipal judge for the city of Rio Grande City, Starr County, Texas. And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God. Congratulations. Thank you so much, and if I can say a few words, I think that this nomination for Mr. René Orlando Garza, being that he is an attorney and I think sincerely overqualified for the position, I think that this marks history in the fact that never in the history of this municipal board have we had a licensed attorney, and for the first time, we have it. Having concluded our business tonight, is there a motion to adjourn? This time is 9:20.
I second the motion.
Motion has been second. Everybody that favors the motion, say aye.
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 Carries. We're in adjournment. Thank you.